Welcome to another talk. Excuse me. Hasn't done one for a little while, a few days. Wow. But yeah, been a few days since I've done my last one. Sometimes it takes a few days to upload though. But yeah, sometimes that's the case because my internet isn't the best. But, and I don't know how long will take to upload. I don't know. I've just had my strike removed from YouTube. I had a strike. I've had tons of strikes, but what they do is they take the strikes away from you. There was once I was almost banned because you get 3 strikes. A certain period you get banned, and I got the second strike. Didn't happen. The last strike was for a talk about virtue signaling, and I don't mention anything to do with COVID-19, or I always say that, if you check my talks regular, I always say anytime I'm going into that, oh no, I can't say nothing. And they deleted the talk and banned me for a week. This is last week. And obviously, I'm not talking about COVID-19, but I realised then, I thought, it's because I'm talking about virtue signaling. You know what I mean? Because the last thing the system wants is people to be aware that they're virtue signaling. Because whilst they're under the spell of doing that, that's what they want, but they don't want people to say, wait a minute, am I doing this to get attention? Am I basically, is this, and so they don't want you being aware of that. So I thought to myself, well, I realise now that it's the agenda is to keep people asleep and to not have them know about virtue signaling. So I won't be mentioning I won't be doing talks based on virtue signaling anymore. But I might still mention it in talks. But I think that YouTube is going by what this talk says. That's what I think. I think they go by what the talk says. Because I've noticed I've said virtually the same things in another video about narcissism, but that doesn't get deleted. That's probably because if it's AI that's doing it, it'll be going by certain words and certain video titles. But anyway, why do so many think from a tiny perceptual box? I want to get into this. Well, because just like what YouTube are doing just what the system at the top does. It's everything comes from the top and is handed down to the sheeple. That is like a mantra that I always repeat when I'm doing these talks a lot. And this all came, I had an unexpected spiritual awakening. Just under 10 years ago, I was 24. I'm 34 this year, October 22nd. If you want to get me something. Donation on Patreon, if you want. But yeah, everything comes from the top and is handed down. So that's why most people are in they're like rats in a cage, but thinking that they're free. And now we know that we're not free, because if soldiers died really meant freedom, then they would never be allowed to take freedom away, would they? So, but I used to get annoyed when they all used to go about poppies and soldiers, because I knew it was a load of rubbish. And I used to get annoyed, not at the soldiers, but at the stupidity. And now we can all see. I mean, this is huge. Lockdown and compliance to lockdown is complete disrespect to those that died for freedom. Complete disrespect. But that's, like I say, this is the tiny perceptual box that people live in. The lefties' attitude is like the system. The lefties just repeat what the system wants, but they think that they're like John Lennon. They think that because the left, John Lennon once said that the left wing is about giving peace a chance, but that was a different time period. The left is being hijacked by the right, and the right is being hijacked by the left. So the old left is actually the right now. You see? So the right is right, but the left is insane. they're completely insane, and they just repeat. And they live in I'm bringing up lefties because they live from a tiny perceptual box. Don't realize that they're just repeating. Lefties will say things. Oh, it's good for the environment. Well, how do you know what's good for the environment? Many scientists say this is a computer simulation. So how can there be an environment if it's a computer simulation? It's just a computer program. If that's true, what many scientists are saying now. Well, everything has to come from nothing, and from that comes energy, and energy has to be coordinated like a computer. So yeah. But yeah, the lefties are an example of how the system controls the sheeple. And if you ever come across with a lefty, observe their behavior, and all they're doing is repeating what they're told to repeat by the system. It's like you take medicine, you take even pets with vets. Everything's dictated by the people at the top of that field, right? So when you look at it at the top, not quite the top, but getting to the top, it's like people with power and money. So it's the money men that run society. And when you go deeper than that, it's a state of consciousness that is controlling them. Some people believe in demons, stuff like that. But it's really just a state of consciousness. And that's what really controls the system. And the deeper truth is that we are that consciousness as a whole. This tiny perceptual box that most people live in, what's happened just now, there's an awakening taking place. That's why there's a rush to stop it. They're trying to rush to stop people awakening. What happens in awakening? DNA activation. What is going on just now? Messing around with DNA. And I'm not allowed to say any more. Because I'm not wanting to get another strike off YouTube. But you can make up your own. You can work it out yourself. I have to speak in code. But that's really, and like I was saying, the lefties' attitude is they are right, therefore you're wrong, and you're not allowed a different opinion because you're wrong. This is the tiny perceptual box attitude, and the leftist is an example of that. There's someone I've been friends with for years, and they followed me today on Instagram. I didn't follow her back because she said on her thing it said vaccines save lives, and also said disinformation is wrong. Well, she's a leftist, and that's exactly what the system wants you to repeat. Because then the more people believe that, the more opposite opinions and debates will not be allowed. Because if you can't win the debate, what do they do? You don't have the debate. And that creates a more boxed in perceptual state of just repeating what the system wants you to repeat. They don't want anyone thinking outside the box. And that's exactly what's going on. You see, YouTube might give me a strike, but I ain't going to stop. I'll still get the message out there. I won't mention certain things, but I'm still going to get the message out there. And the problem for the system is there's too much people awakening now. There was a poll done the other day on LinkedIn. 47% of people are against the force of vaccine jobs, and 48% are for it. Excuse me. That means that there's a war going on. But the thing is, the people that are compliant are not very strong. The awakening is very, very strong people. The people that are awakening, and so that this is spiritual wartime, where they're trying to stop humanity awakening. Like I say, it's a consciousness. But because that dark consciousness comes from the source of all consciousness, it's just a movie. And basically, everything that's going on, you have to have the pro-vaxxers to have the anti-vaxxer. It's just a play, a movie. And humanity is awakening from its coma, from its tiny perceptual box. Listen to it was in, but in the future we'll look back and we'll understand that this had to happen for that to happen, for that to happen, for that to happen. It's just a beautiful, like, film. And you'll wait, and everyone will awakening in their own time if they choose to. Like Eckhart Tolle says, it's not an impossible scenario that we could end up with some awakened people and a lot of asleep people. You could end up having a situation where, in the future, I believe that all the sheeple will be laughed at in the future. I think they will be seen as the cowards, like they are. And in history, they'll talk about it, and they'll talk about the ones that just obeyed because they're retarded. And it's no laughing matter. Society there's a problem in society. When you see, virtue signaling is a real thing. I've seen it myself. And these people that virtue signal, they're traumatized. They're traumatized little 4-year-olds. And they're doing that obviously to get attention. That's why they virtue signal. That's why you see people repeating about vaccines are good and all this, and they're repeating what they think is going to get them attention from other sheeple. Because they think that's the popular side, you see. So it's pathetic, but these people that do this feel the need to do that. They feel the need to get likes and attention. And so basically society has been a bunch of 4-year-old traumatized 4-year-olds, and we're awakening. But remember, awakening is a choice. To get out of this tiny perceptual box, you've got to choose to wake up. I had the spiritual awakening at 24 because I sat down one day and I had enough of everything, and it was the first time in my life I was authentic, and then the awakening manifested itself, and the rest is history now. But you've got to mean it. If you're half-hearted, God doesn't listen to that. And next time you are virtue signaling, ask yourself why. Why do you feel the need to do this? And the more you ask that question, you'll find the answer that you're seeking attention. You see? And I'm just going to leave it there. I don't know if this will be uploaded to YouTube. If it does get uploaded to YouTube, then I'll know it was the picture about virtue signaling. And I've mentioned just as much here as I did then on that subject. But maybe because it's a different title. So this is a little bit of an experiment today with YouTube I'm having. But I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, songs, and much, much more, please do visit my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.